Hello Coolets, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. This one is an extremely late one and a crazy one really. The transfer window is finished, it is over. Right now it's currently midnight here in England, that's 1:30 AM in Spain, so I will try and keep it down just a little bit. But the transfer window is finished, Barcelona have made some moves, there is a lot to talk about and I thought in today's video we discuss what has been an unbelievable transfer window. I think for Barcelona as a whole, this transfer window, you could call it a disaster, but I am interested to hear what you guys think. Please, as the video goes on, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below, but in today's video, it's going to be a late one. Whenever you're watching it, probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, please leave your thoughts, but it should give you guys a full explanation about what's gone on and what all the situations are. So let me waste no more time, guys. On deadline day, what we saw is Emerson Royal moved to Tottenham. I think he was a player we definitely wanted to keep this summer, especially after activating the buy option to get him in from Real Betis this summer. About a month later, we then allowed him to go to Tottenham. We haven't really made much profit on this deal. We'll come back to it later, though. And then the big one, guys, really is that Antoine Griezmann has returned to Atlético Madrid on loan with, I believe, an option or an obligation to buy of 40 million euros. And I think that the loan fee is 10 million. So Barcelona, perhaps in total, I think will be getting about 50 million euros for this one. And coming the other way, as another forward, Barcelona are going to be signing Luuk de Jong from Sevilla. I don't think this, this whole operation really, puts much optimism into us Barcelona fans, but that is what's happened. That is the scenario, guys. Griezmann has gone back to Atletico, unbelievably, and Luuk de Jong has come to Barcelona. Now, of course, in this window, a lot more happened than just those two moves, so I am going to be going over it all now. I think let's kickstart by saying probably our expectations for this window weren't huge. I think with Laporta back as president, we did think, there's going to be a big step in the right direction here. Laporta's going to come in and he's not going to allow silly things to go on, to be honest, like we saw tonight, which isn't good to see. It didn't go that way, unfortunately, though. I think the expectations at the start of the window were that we were going to renew the contract of Lionel Messi, that we were going to bring in some free transfers, as we did do, that perhaps we would bring in like a 15 million signing here and there, and that then, of course, then we would try and sell the dead wood in our squad. Let's say it, guys. The signings that came in, Memphis Depay, Eric Garcia, Sergio Aguero, and, of course, Emerson, doesn't look so great now. I think Memphis Depay looks like a top quality signing, but again, with Bartomeu, I think he would have signed anyway. Same goes for Eric Garcia, looks like a good signing, but he would have signed anyway. Emerson we signed then just to sell. In total, I think we've made about 5 million profit on Emerson, which isn't good at all. For a top right back, it could have been part of the future of the club. And you've got Aguero, guys, who, let's face it, was signed to almost keep Messi happy at the club, which just isn't great as a whole, but he's got injured and it doesn't really know, we don't know when he's actually going to be playing for us. So I think when you look at our signings, it just doesn't look that impressive as a whole. And I think in terms of the sales, guys, we did actually sell, quite a few people in total. And actually, if our loan moves with options or obligations to buy are actually met, Barcelona could have made about 150 million from player sales this summer. I think in total as well, Barcelona would have reduced the wage bill by quite a substantial amount this summer. Actually, I really do think that. So if you are looking for positives in what's been, I'd say, quite a sad end to the window, surely for Barcelona, then it is that, look, maybe Laporta is planning for the future, and we would also speak about that a little bit later. But you look at some of the, the smaller players, if you like, that have gone, like Conrad or Miranda, Monchu, Aleñá, then you've got like Firpo, Trincao, and then of course you've also got the likes of Antoine Griezmann and Emerson, and I'm sure I'm missing a few too. So Barcelona have made sales here and there. We have made money, and certainly, as I say, if the loans that we've loaned out, the likes of Griezmann and Trincao, if those options are activated, then that's 70 million on its own. You've got Elites Moriba too, of course. That's someone who I forgot. He's also left to Leipzig. So Barcelona have made sales and they have made cash this transfer window. But I think, as I say, you look at some of the players that we haven't sold, and I don't think it's good. I feel as if really we've sold players who we didn't want to sell. I think Griezmann and Emerson were two players who we thought were definitely going to be important parts of our team this season, and actually we've been kept, with Pjanic and Titi, even Coutinho, Sergio Roberto. I think players who we probably thought, let's try and get them out this summer. That hasn't happened. I think also we saw, big issues with the whole wage reduction thing that allowed us to lose Lionel Messi. Of course, the big disaster of the summer, that was Laporta's plan, really, as president, to renew the contract of Messi. It didn't happen. He's gone for free. He was in tears. That collapsed, and we've already spoken a lot about that, so we won't go into it anymore. But it is, of course, the cherry on top, really, in terms of this tough window for Barcelona. And then I think Griezmann's departure today just says it all. I'm not quite sure what we're doing, honestly, in my humble opinion. I'm really not. I think getting rid of Griezmann for a decent amount of money, getting him off the wage bill, isn't the worst thing in the world. But on the last day of the window, with no real replacement, we've got Luuk de Jong in. to our, La Liga rivals, it doesn't look great. I think we have really handed Atletico some leagues on a plate here in the last few years, and that is not good to see. And then, of course, on that signing of Luuk de Jong, which does now look official, Luuk de Jong, guys, I think it's just an odd one for Barcelona. It's the sort of signing we said we don't want to see anymore. We don't want to see, 30-year-olds who are coming into the club and there's no real, long-term goal there. It's not really a player we want to have, and I just feel as if what Barcelona have done this window is actually weaken the squad, and that is really what we didn't want to do. We wanted to be competitive, build a good enough squad within the financial means. And, of course, I'll go back to it. Barcelona haven't had a great, situation financially this summer, but I do feel as if this deadline day has been a complete disaster and it's made a bad situation even worse. So I would say if you are to pick one positive from this transfer window, guys, it is that Barcelona under Laporta now are accepting the situation they are in. They are accepting that we are in a dreadful financial situation and they are doing things to stop that. Whether that means that it's, detrimental on the pitch, perhaps. But what it does mean is that Barcelona could now be allowed in future windows to spend money, to have a proper window. We already saw the rumour of the 75 million offer to Dani Olmo. We're hoping next summer, guys, that big players can be signed and that Barcelona will have cash. They have relieved the wage bill a lot this summer, especially with the wage reductions too. They have sold a lot of players for a lot of money, in fairness. So that's, the positive I would give you guys if you're like me and you're upset with this window. It is that Barcelona have saved a lot of cash here. But I think if you were to give an overall assessment on this window and of this, first window with Joan Laporta back as president, for me, as a Barcelona fan, you cannot say this is a good window. I would really question you, and if you're taking the mick, really, if you think this has been a good window for Barcelona, or if you think this is okay. I think you look at our squad, we were already struggling. Koeman was already struggling as the coach. We already knew we weren't in a good spot. And I think what we're doing right now is just putting us even further down. Now, like I say, it could be best for the future and for the future of Barcelona. And if it is, I'm all for it. But I always see it, the time is now. And I think Barcelona are in big danger of throwing away this season with the squad we've compiled here. It is not good. It's not massively competitive in my opinion, and Koeman will have to work some real miracles if he is to get much out of this team. In my opinion, there are some good players in there, of course, but I think the squad gets weaker and weaker and weaker as time goes on. And I feel this transfer window, if you were to be fair about it, look at it as a whole. Like I say, there could be some positives for the future, but if you're being fair, the window as a whole for me hasn't gone well. So I think I will start to wrap up the video there. It is extremely late, guys, so I'm sorry if I missed anything. If I can give a quick roundup, Barcelona has sold quite a few players. On deadline day, we've sold Griezmann back to Atletico on loan, I believe with an option or an obligation of 40 million euros to buy for Atletico. So I think it's also a 10 million loan fee, so maybe 50 million euros in total. Emerson has gone to Spurs for 25 million euros, but of course we paid 6 million initially and then 9 million to get him back, so we haven't really made much money on him at all. Then you've got the 20% sale that goes to Betis, so with Emerson we've barely made any money, but he is gone. And other than that, guys, I think overall the window hasn't been great. We haven't sold who we wanted to. Pjanic and Umtiti are still Barcelona players. By the way, Alex Collado hasn't joined Sheffield United. He's going to be staying with Barcelona B, I believe, and maybe he'll get some minutes in the first team. That deal collapsed right at the last minute, so no Collados to Sheffield. Reymana has gone to Spezia as well, by the way. Ilaix Moriba to Leipzig. So Barcelona have departed some players. We're hoping they've saved some cash. We're hoping they've relieved the wage bill. But on the pitch, guys, with the squad for next season, getting rid of Griezmann and signing Luuk de Jong on deadline day, it doesn't quite sit right with me. I'm going to end it there, guys, and start editing and uploading this video for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. I really am, because I hope I've got my thoughts out. I think overall, I'm not happy, and I'm definitely not happy with the way Laporta's tenure started. I've got to say it straight, but I am hoping there's a plan behind it, and that Barcelona are going to be better off for the future with what's happened in these past few days. So I'll see you guys in the comments whenever it is, whenever you guys are up watching this video, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Good night.